Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about the latest thing Donald Trump has come in the media to say. He is trying to declare the Strait of Hormuz U.S. territory. First of all, is way too far away from the U.S. to be any kind of territory. And number two, Iran already kicked your ass one time. I guess you are a glutton for punishment. Are they going to have to kick your ass again? They ain't going to give you no Strait of Hormuz. He wants it, y'all. He wants it for the money. And you know why? Because they're having a hard time selling that Venezuelan oil. They can't sell it. Okay. And it's because of the type of oil it is. It's very hard to work with and everything. So his eyes are now on the Strait of Hormuz. It's all about money for Donald Trump. It's not for America. He'll say it's for America and then he'll hog the whole thing up. So that, I guess, that's the latest thing. I think maybe he feels if he says it, then it will all automatically manifest itself and happen. I don't think so. I don't think so, Donald Trump. I think it's silly that you're out there. People are laughing. People are in the comment sections calling him delusional and he's making a fool of himself. And hey, just let him do it. Let him do it. I don't care if he's out there making a fool of himself. Let him do it. He sure can't put it on anyone else. That's how I see it. Yeah, but you know what? This is the leader of the free world, as they say. This is who they picked. Okay. And what people are seeing and what they are hearing, you can't undo it. And America, you're going to go down as the dumbest mofos that ever elected a president like Donald Trump. Y'all going to be seen as stupid everywhere. It's already happening. It's already happening. So, y'all, let me share my screen. Okay, so before we get started, of course, we have the goat milk shampoo and leave-in conditioner that's on sale all week, 40% off on Etsy. So grab your bottles up. I have plenty in supply, so grab it up. So, y'all, let's get into this story. Donald Trump just can't help himself. He really can't. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
That you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a territory of the United States. Could you elaborate?
Well, I just think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, we control it. We control it with the blockade. We have a blockade. We control it with the blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory.
When might you do that?
We have total control over the strait. Now, they can be a nuisance. They can put a mine in the water, and people don't like having mines hit their billion-dollar ships, et cetera. But the blockade has been very effective. And, we're taking out, and now maybe that will stop, or maybe it'll open up even further, but we're taking out millions of barrels of oil a week. If you look at the kind of numbers that we're doing, the strait is open, and the oil prices are coming down, and they will continue to come down.
Ladies and gentlemen, oil prices are going up. They're not going down, they're going up. Iran never confirmed that the Strait of Hormuz is open. And no, it's not a good idea if somebody like Donald Trump take it over because y'all, people like you, Donald Trump, made America insolvent. Donald Trump ruined U.S. trade. Nobody will buy from the U.S. now because he messed everything up with those tariffs. Now, why would somebody pick a person like this to be in charge of the Strait of Hormuz? I mean, really? I guess if you want to ruin it and want it to go to hell, then yeah, let Donald Trump run it because he sure know how to run everything in the ground. He most certainly know how to do that. But no, don't let Americans run anything. Always remember, they were the ones, the people that look like Donald Trump are the ones that made this country insolvent.
Unless we decide to do something far more drastic than we're doing.
President Trump shared a photo on social media declaring the Strait of Hormuz as a U.S. territory. This move comes as Iran reiterated today the strait will remain closed until America meets the conditions set by Iran. ABC's Karen Waugh is in Washington as the president is once again threatening to expand the war in Iran to involve another country.
Good morning. Ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz remains at a virtual standstill. And while President Trump still insists the U.S. controls the strait, his own energy secretary calls the waterway a conflict zone. This morning, President Trump cursing out another American ally, saying he would bomb the expletive out of Oman if the country got in the way of U.S. plans to control the Strait of Hormuz.
I don't think they behave very well, but we'd handle them very easily, just like we do others.
Oman had been helping to broker a deal on the strait, just as the 60-day truce with Iran officially ended on Monday, with no nuclear deal or peace talks scheduled. His threat to Oman also comes a day after he iced out another ally, Trump cutting back joint military exercises with South Korea, calling the drills, quote, totally inappropriate and hostile to an unthreatening and respectful North Korea. The president suggesting he's spoken with Kim Jong-un recently.
Kim Jong-un has always treated me with great respect.
It seems like the president and vice president are not on the same page. Trump says getting rid of Iran's nuclear weapons is the top priority of the war, while Vance says the main goal is to keep oil and gas prices low. Karen Waugh, ABC News, Washington.
This morning you said you would bomb the S out of Oman if they got in the way of reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Would you say you're out of patience with Oman as strategic?
No, I don't think they behave very well, but we'd handle them very easily, just like we do others.
Just based on
we heard President Trump today again declare the Strait of Hormuz a U.S. territory. Is he serious?
I would hope not, because it's a natural body of water and it's nowhere near us.
Right, breaking news into the Don Lemon Show newsroom. I want you to take a look at this. Look at it. Trump just posted a map of the Strait of Hormuz labeled new U.S. territory. Yes, really he did. We're months into a war that he started. There's still no real end in sight. Gas prices are outrageously high. American troops are still at risk, and you've seen the conditions aboard the USS Lincoln. And this is what the president is posting, a map claiming that the Strait of Hormuz is U.S. territory. So to the Trump voters who are still willing to admit you voted for this man, I have one question. Are we great yet? Do you think? That's two questions. You think he's okay?
60 days ago, President Trump signed an interim deal with Iran and declared a historic breakthrough toward ending the conflict. But with that deal now expiring, there is no new deal in sight, and oil prices are once again up. The latest now from senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata.
With the Strait of Hormuz still gridlocked and talks deadlocked, President Trump today took aim not at Iran, but longtime U.S. ally Oman, which shares the strait and has been negotiating control of the waterway with the regime. Trump told Fox News, if Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the expletive out of them.
Would you say you're out of patience with Oman?
No, I don't think they behave very well, but we'd handle them very easily, just like we do others.
Nearly 6 months into the war, Iran threatened to go fully offensive if diplomacy fails. The head of the army offering a $30,000 bounty for the killing or capture of U.S. soldiers. This weekend, the head of Central Command, Admiral Brad Cooper, dropped in on the beleaguered Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier at sea for nearly 9 months. Facing a backlash over supply shortages and the deteriorating mental health of the crew, Cooper dismissed some of the concerns as old news, but admitted in a post that long stretches at sea are uniquely challenging and tough. after the president seemed to dismiss concerns from family members that sailors and Marines had not been on the Lincoln for too long.
No. Not nearly long enough.
Nebraska Republican Don Bacon suggested a more sympathetic approach.
It's better to acknowledge, hey, this is hard on the families. It's hard on the service members. Thank them for being willing to defend our country and doing these 10-month deployments if you're on an aircraft carrier.
There is relief ahead for the Lincoln. It'll be replaced by the George Washington aircraft carrier, now on its way to the Middle East from the South China Sea. And the Lincoln and its crew should return home to San Diego in around 2 to 3 weeks. Tony?
A lot of family waiting. Charlie, thanks.
A 60-day memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran that included a ceasefire is set to expire today. Now Iranian officials are firing back at President Trump over future talks to reach a nuclear deal. As ABC's Devin Dwyer reports, the president says there is no hurry to end the war.
It was 60 days ago today that President Donald Trump signed that memorandum of understanding with Iran.
This was not easy, I can tell you.
A tenuous ceasefire and plan to negotiate a nuclear deal now officially expired. The conflict in a stalemate as critics of the war demand answers and a way out.
This administration did not plan for this war, did not plan how to get out of this war, did not really understand how this war was going to escalate.
President Trump on Monday posting to social media, the number one goal is and always will be Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, urging Americans to bear with him as the costs of the conflict continue to mount. 18 American service members have been killed, hundreds more wounded. The Pentagon spending more than $37 billion on the fight, while at home, gas prices now top $4 a gallon on average, up 7 cents from last week, according to Gas Buddy, as control over the Strait of Hormuz, that key pathway for oil exports, remains a virtual standstill.
You're at $4. It's okay. I mean, it's I'll never apologize. I did the right thing.
The president now claiming the Strait of Hormuz is a territory of the United States, warning U.S. ally Oman on Monday he will bomb that country if it gets in the way. Meantime, Iran insisting the strait will always be Iranian, as its military chief makes a new threat, offering a $30,000 bounty for every U.S. service member killed or captured, according to Iranian state media, as its foreign ministry spokesman calls the passing of today's deadline to reach a nuclear deal irrelevant.
And Trump is also downplaying the expiration of that memorandum of understanding with Iran, telling Fox News today in an interview that he's, quote, not in a hurry to reach a deal. Devin Dwyer, ABC News, Washington.
No, Iran already said they're going to wait for the next president to come in before they make another deal. And Donald Trump is still all in the media talking about making deals, and Iran is denying the whole thing. They said they're not making no more attempts with Donald Trump. So, he's at it again. So I guess nothing new here. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I want to thank Jill B for the 2 jewels, 100. Thank you so much for your support for my channel. I deeply appreciate it. And y'all, I have another swarm. This time it hit Pennsylvania. It's mayflies. So we'll talk about that tomorrow at 11:45. Now, when I was a child, we actually drove into a swarm. It wasn't around where we lived, in the hood. We were going on our way somewhere, and it was a swarm in another neighborhood. And man, it was bad. It was bad. It almost took away the visibility. It was so many in the air. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And thank you for all of your support. And don't forget to pick up your hair products, your goat milk, shampoo, and leave-in conditioner. Shalom, family.